And I'm live. Ooh. I'm finishing my lip combo. Okay. We got I wanna be I don't want to be famous. Uh I'm buffering. Okay. My notes. Hello. We have a viewer. When I say we, it's me and my many personalities, okay? Okay. We will get started when a few more people. Oh, can you hear me? Good, clear. Amazing. Hey, I did a bare face today. Good evening. Before we get officially started, I did a bare face today because it's really. Let me tell you something. DC is swamp. Okay. Um, I like it though. Not too much. Okay, but it's very hot, and I feel like it was just a lot. Doing a face was just not it today. It was just very hot. Anywho, I feel like I gotta prop up my phone. Why? Because we follow a script. Oh wait, I gotta send the link to mhm. All right. We just gonna start. And the people will come when they need to come. Okay. Good evening, everybody. We made it to 10 whole episodes of Beyond Clothes. It is me and my strawberry cup against the world, okay? And my thoughts and ideas. Last week's episode is whoop whoop yeah. Last week's episode is now up on YouTube. In the folder playlist Beyond Clothes. I don't know. It's a lot. So I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna get right into the discussion because I have a lot to talk about, but when do I not? Because would I be done if I didn't have anything to say? Yeah. So I do have an announcement. 73 days as of today before Dandan takes on DC Fashion Week. Okay, I will be attending. I will be there. Now, the goal is to get 1,000 followers on Instagram because there are going to be amazing designers, creatives, models, and I want to give a lot of the viewers. I just want to give you guys the inside scoop on what's going on, in the DC. I don't know what happened there. But DC Fashion Week. I want to shed some light on some brands and things like that. Almost like a live blog coverage, but obviously there'll be a written one after that. Anywho, if you aren't already, go ahead and subscribe to my Dan Dan Says Instagram at dandan.says. And for those of you that are following, don't forget to share. Um, don't forget to share, restack, repost, all of that. Let's make it happen. Another announcement: all blogs that have been out for a while. Okay, so sunflower earrings are from Guatemala. Shout out to my mom. She got them for me. I can't say her government on here no more because there'd be some scammers. But y'all know, for those of you that know, shout out to my mommy. She got me these earrings. Anywho, another announcement. All blogs that have been out for a while are now considered archival. For me, for Dun Dun Says, for Substack. I can't speak for nobody else, okay? That means Chili Pepper Red is now an archival piece. Isn't that crazy? Is that not crazy? 9 weeks ago, I released my first. Wow, it's the journey. I'm 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 still here. Yep. Just when y'all thought that I wasn't. Anyways, next week, um next week, Back at the Binary, which is the second blog post I've ever released, will also become an archival piece. So if you want to access the entire Dan Dan Says archive, which is style guides, um archival blogs, and interviews and more, go ahead and become a paid subscriber on Substack. At Dan Dan Says, we have four paid subscribers now. Yes, four, y'all. We growing. I couldn't have done it without you, literally. But yes, but yeah, and if you got to save your coin, I understand. Become a free subscriber, nonetheless. Or you could sacrifice your coffee for a month because the lowest is $8. Anywho, back to the show. As you can see, things are getting pretty busy over here in Don Don's world. This weekend, I will be attending two events. The Lucky Girl Market, which is a thrift event created by a group of women. They travel around the DMV Philly area. And so they're going to be coming here on Saturday. Yeah, they're gonna be coming here on Saturday, so super excited. I will definitely be active on Instagram this weekend, so stay tuned and check it out if you guys want to you know see what's going on. And then on Sunday, I will be attending an event called the Pink Exchange. It is a woman's event curated for both events, I could say, are created by women to empower women and or femme presenting creatives and businesses. So stay tuned for next week, where I will be giving you guys the inside scoop on how it went. And for Monday's blog, which I can tease right here, next week's Monday's blog is Who Runs the World. I'll let y'all finish that sentence. Anyways, getting enough about me. Getting into the getting into the paradigm. Well, that was the writer segment. Sorry. Welcome to the conversation, the writer, the paradigm, and the wardrobe. We just got over the writer. That's just some updated news about Dun Dun. Now we're getting into the paradigm. Um, it's about to get real hot. Okay. Do I have lipstick in my teeth? No. Great. This week's blog breaks down Paris Couture Week. If you have not looked at it, Monday's blog that I released was called "The Year of Biointelligence." Like I just said, I break down Paris Couture Week 26 and the looks, and I also talk about certain trends I see coming for 2027. Basically, to sum it all up, we are entering an era of fashion that allows us to fully immerse ourselves in biointelligence and address the symbiosis between humanity, nature, and technology. Specifically, we're talking about fashion, not the whole shebang, but fashion. Sustainability measures are typically always talked about, but it kind of seems like efforts are often thwarted because people just don't want to participate. Brands give a beautiful greenwashed garment or a campaign, and you know the rest. The but the paradigm, the main paradigm of the century is Gen Z. I am Gen Z, so I am qualified to talk about this. Okay. Gen Z and our requirements for sustainable fashion met with our refusal to give up fast fashion. Now, I am not talking about purchasing synthetic garments because this top is most definitely synthetic. I'm not going to lie. And I am also not directing this conversation at people who care for their garments and keep them for years and years and years to come. I am specifically talking about those who can sacrifice the major hauls, $400 plus shopping sprees on fast fashion sites, and others who buy entirely new wardrobes solely for a trip, a vacation, or event and never wear these pieces again. Yes, this is directed to you. Or and to those who don't like repeating outfits. Again, this is most definitely 100%, 100,000% directed at you. Um we as a whole need to address the reality that mass production is a solution to mass and overconsumption. We talk more about sustainable efforts, yet we also love the privilege of not having to wait 7 to 14 business days between placing your order versus when it arrives. Fashion, as in clothes, mirrors the consumer. So, for instance, synthetic garments. Now, I want to get into a little bit about synthetic garments really quickly because I don't completely and totally hate synthetic textiles. Hate me if you want to. Okay. I just hate the way that they're being mass produced right now. Because let's take it back to why synthetic garments became popular in the first place. Post World War II fashion, with the housewives going to work, all of the women going to work, daughters, wives, sisters, mothers, all of them. So they didn't have the time, nor the desire, nor the need to press, fold, iron, separate, air dry, hang their laundry like they used to. And so synthetic garments provided a level of convenience to these people, right? To the working class, the new working class, which was women, right? So synthetic garments tend, we got to we got a comment. We got to read the comment before I continue. Synthetic garments aren't the problem. Folks don't want to learn how to take care of the garments. Absolutely 100%. Synthetic garments were traditionally and originally created because they tend to hold their pleats, they hold their creases, their folds, and they are extremely easy to care for. In order, love the sunflower. Thank you. Hello. Yes, we got Jay Tajade in the building. Subscribe to her channel if you want to see fashion blogging, style tips, all the nines. She will and she has a blog coming soon about her trip to Barbados. So please go check her out as well. Just had to give, my girl a shout out as well. But yes, back to synthetic garments and convenience for Gen Z and Gen Z shoppers. I am a part of Gen Z. I'm qualified to speak on this. Again, synthetic garments provided post World War II fashion the convenience that was needed during the time. Like I just said, housewives didn't have time to fold, hang, air dry, take out the stains, all that stuff like they used to because they were at work. And so that being said, and just like Michael Bland said in the comments, synthetic garments aren't the problem. It's just people don't want to take the time out to learn how to take care of them. And in order, I feel like in order for us to move forward, I think everyone needs to address their role in the reason as to why the fashion industry is the number two polluting industry in the world. Remember, no demand, no fast fashion. But because there's such a large demand for fast fashion, because of micro trends, people don't want to be caught dead walking in the same outfit. And again, I'll readdress this, people buying entirely new wardrobes for just one segment, small segment and situation in their life, never using those pieces again. Again, no demand, no fast fashion. Uh, we are going to get into the next topic of conversation, which is the wardrobe. We're 16 minutes into the live for those of you that came in, a little late, but it's okay. We're talking about biointelligence and fashion entering the year of symbiosis between nature, humanity, and technology. Read this week's blog to catch up. Anyways, moving on, we are in the wardrobe segment of this conversation. So I do want to shed a little bit of positivity. I don't want to be one of those doomsday folks that says, "Oh, the industry is the number two polluting industry," and never say anything positive. Absolutely not. I There are a lot of sustainability measures happening around us. For instance, Fashion Week overseas, specifically Copenhagen Fashion Week, are establishing stricter guidelines on what it means to be sustainable. For instance, working conditions, zero waste set designing, and all the nines. You can read more about it on Copenhagen Fashion Week. They're very, very strict. But a lot of textiles color. Anyway, but they're addressing what it means to be sustainable, especially these fashion houses. And also one of the largest fashion houses, and probably one of the most well-known, LVMH, is launching they're currently in the middle of launching their 360 campaign, which addresses sustainability from the moment that you're hired at any LVMH brand to the moment the garment starts to get sourced, to being produced, and so on and so forth. I know there's issues with LVMH and controversies, but at this point in life, what isn't a controversy? If I'm going to be honest. So let's take the wins where we can. Now, specifically for Couture Week in Paris 2026, a lot of the textiles, the set design, and the colors featured on the runway and at the shows seem to point to kind of who was the muse for this Couture Week, which is our loving planet Earth. Nature inspired embroidery, we saw a lot of floral prints, animal prints. We saw croc and snake embossments. I don't know if it was real leather or not, can't speak on that, wasn't there. But also not just on the runway, but I do want to, well, yeah, on the runway, but you can see a lot of nature inspired movement, natural inspired movement, whether it be from the tiniest little microscopic bacteria that you see in a microscope. Go on Pinterest and look up those photos, or on Google. Amazing. Or it could even be down to the way a butterfly's wings open up. Or the way a bee looks on a flower. We saw a lot of those inspirations, and I do talk about a lot of the colorways as well. And what I did see in my blog. So check out Don Don Says on Substack. I'm going to continue to plug it in because I go into a lot more depth there. But yes, I do want to bring light to a few smaller brands and designers that are utilizing recycled materials, sustainable measures, and they are also inspired by nature. Um, yeah. They're very sustainable, I would say, or at least consider sustainability. But they're very, very fashionable as well. Number one, I do want to bring up handbag designer Sticky Harmony. First of all, I love her bags. If you want to check her out during this live or even after on Instagram, it's at Sticky Harmony. Um, Owning one of her bags is literally on my bucket list right now. It is a dream of mine, and she is on my accessory bucket list. She takes, in her words, actually, I'm going to quote her directly. She rebirths textiles into rare handbags. They are one of a kind and extremely unique. And she sources these textiles from textile mills, where or fabric stores that are no longer going to be selling these. Um, yeah, and she turns them into really unique bags. You can even get one customized as well, by reaching out to her on her website, which is in her link in bio. This is not sponsored or a collaboration of any sort. I just really like her bags, and I feel like she needs to be kind of put into the limelight a little bit more, because of that sustainability measure. Um, Anyway, yeah, at Sticky Harmony on Instagram. The second creative, and it's an accessory designer. They are the first ever in the world. They are the first ever bio jeweler. On Instagram, they are at Mona, as in Mona Lisa, Mona.gems. If you haven't heard of Mona Gems, please go check them out. They are based out of NYC, and the owners and creators graduated from John Hopkins. They figured out how to create jewelry out of biomaterials like potato starch. What? Potato starch, and they're using it as resin, for their beads, for their acrylic potato starch beads. I think that's amazing. And if your bracelet breaks, or if you lose something, or even if you get tired of wearing it, you can quite literally take the bead, throw it into the dirt, or even if you throw it into the trash can, it will literally melt back into the earth. It composts, and the dyes that they use inside are naturally derived, so it literally will not leak hazardous materials and waste into the environment. And with the rise of harmful forever chemicals that are being used in acrylic bangles, I love me some Bongolese. I love me some Bongolese. But a lot of the PFAS that are being put into our plastic jewelry, accessories, all of those things, I think it's really important that we do support and uplift these individuals that are doing amazing things, like potato starch as instead of resin. I think that's phenomenal. Their jewelry does look pretty chic. I'm not gonna lie, and you honestly wouldn't ever know that it was biomaterials that were used, because it genuinely looks like acrylic. Again, their Instagram is at Mona.gems. Um, Now, this third and next creative that I want to bring up has brought up quite a bit of controversy. They are based out of the UK, and they are they do hand embroidered accessories. On Instagram, they are at Mila Textiles, Mila Textiles. Um, Honestly, you're gonna be blown away by their work. That is some of the most beautiful embroidery that I have ever seen. And it I'm not gonna lie, you can definitely tell that they were on the mood board for LVMH, Louis Vuitton's men's fashion show, based off of their embroidered bags. Unfortunately, they did not get officially accredited, but they were definitely on that mood board or on that Pinterest board. You hear me? Anyway, I've been following this artist for a really long time, back in my TikTok days, because I don't have TikTok anymore, y'all. Sorry. Um, Maybe I'll be back. I love their work. Absolutely, Jade. Yes, their work is phenomenal. Their inspiration it's literally the definition of biointelligence and the symbiosis between nature, technology, and fashion at work. That I've like I said, I've been watching them for a while. And they're if you just haven't seen their work, please go check it out, because it is phenomenal, and every single piece is hand embroidered. And I feel like they genuinely deserve a lot more recognition than they're currently getting, especially because their designs literally got bitten off by the Louis Vuitton menswear show recently. So, no offense, Pharrell, and no offense, LVMH, but I'm going to give credit where credit is due. A flower will be given, okay? Even if it's a dandelion. Anyway, check them out on Instagram at Mila Textiles and to be blown away. And the last brand that I personally want to bring up, because I know there's so many, but I don't know. But the last one is a family owned brand known as Story MFG. This modern brand, and I do speak on this on ancient dyeing techniques and ancient dyes in my blog that I released this week. Story MFG. They are a family ran brand, and they have a few dyeing like hand like dye, but they have a few what do you call it, oh my gosh, my brain is like tapping out. But they have a few mills out in India. There we go. And they use ancient dye techniques, natural materials, and slow sewing practices. They collaborate with craftspeople of all different types, and to create these beautifully dyed garments. And the dyes come from literally Earth's materials. It they call for a holistic future in fashion where we can all still be fun, be fashionable, and remain kind to our planet. And I think that's like something that's really important that we need to really highlight with future designers and the future of fashion. I feel like with a lot of the resource depleting technological advancements that are going on, and we're all feeling the effects of climate change. I'm not going to get too big on a soapbox there, but the fashion industry being the number two polluting industry in the world, we do need to address our impact on Earth. And as you clearly saw this past couture week, oh my goodness. Sorry, I feel like an eyelash was in my eye. But as you can tell, the overall theme is Earth, sustainability, and caring for our dear planet. I think it's extremely important for us to remember that this is our only home, y'all. We don't have anywhere else to go. And it I think it is that we can be fashionable and still care for our dear planet all in the same. I think that this planet has an endless display of inspiration, from the tiniest little ant that you see crawling on the floor down to your neighbor or a stranger that's walking down the street, or even the sunsets and sunrises that you see. I think sustainability is the route that we are taking in the industry. And I'm not going to sit here and be negative about it, because there are genuinely a lot of movements that are being taken. And I'm super excited to see what's next and what initiatives people take. And I'm really, really excited to see kind of if my predictions for 2027 fashion comes to light. So stay tuned on that. I'm ready for it. Lots of nature inspired, lots of nature inspiration. Like I'm just really glad. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will be like I said earlier, for those of you that missed it, I will be attending a few events this weekend for Monday's blog, which is being teased right here, called Who Runs the World? And I'm gonna let y'all finish that sentence once again. Again, stay tuned for some event coverage, and don't forget to help support me in my endeavors to gaining 1,000 followers on Instagram, so I can bring live coverage from DC Fashion Week right to the people, and shed light on these amazing brands and small creatives out here that are really doing their thing. Yeah, this has been episode 10 of Beyond Clothes. Thank y'all for coming out, for watching me, for always supporting me. I really appreciate you guys. We love Dan Dan Says and do, because what? As always, I got a lot to say. Anyways, my name is Dan Dan, and while you don't have to get off the internet, you most definitely have to get up off this live. Okay? Okay. See y'all next week. Bye.